Thank you for tuning in to the Student Organization Summit. Make sure to follow us on social media and check out the many other videos on this channel about working with and advising student organizations. And now, please enjoy your workshop.
Hello, my name is Kyonna Henry, and I am here to present to you 30 virtual program ideas in 30 minutes or less. So let's get started. A little bit about me. Once again, I'm Kyonna Henry, a VA native, VA till I die. I love my Commonwealth. I received my bachelor's degree in English education and my master's degree in higher education administration, student affairs, both from Old Dominion in Virginia. I currently work at North Carolina A&T State University, which is in Greensboro, North Carolina. And here I advise the programming board, which is the Student University Activities Board. And I also am the campus coordinator for the Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, which is a quiz bowl team for all HBCUs. I have been working in the field since I graduated grad school in 2012. So I'm 8 years strong, proud member of the National Association of Campus Activities and Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. My passion pictured here, she's 3, her name is Sanaya, and I love her to pieces. She is why I do over and beyond every day in the world just to make sure it's better for her. Just my favorite color is glitter, and yes, it is a color. And I prefer Pepsi over Coke, if anybody was ever wondering. A little bit about North Carolina A&T. We are in the UNC school system. We are a private entity, 4-year institution, non-faith-based, and I mentioned before with the Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, but A&T is a historically Black college or university, so we call ourselves HBCUs. We are the largest HBCU in the nation. We have about 12,600 or so students enrolled on campus with 160 student organizations. Our platform we use here in student activities is Engage. We are proud to be a first-gen identifier, meaning we have numerous students that are first generation, where neither parent has graduated from a 4-year institution. Our programming board's budget is about $90,000 a year. And if you wanted to follow our programming board, we are NCAT SUAB on all platforms. And then the office, the Student Activities Office here at A&T is NCAT OSA. So getting into it, 2020 has unique challenges, but it also has unique opportunities. So we're basically forced to program virtually. We cannot have in-person programming for fear of spreading COVID-19. So, and I remember back in March and April-ish last year of 2020, we had to be 100% virtual. Nothing could be in person because we all were at home. So we have to stay connected. And as staff members, we have to make sure our students are connected. So, you wanna be the best Aggie you can, and we would say here, or the best Jaguar, if your mascot are Jaguars, or whatever your mascot is, you can enter that here, but just be the best that you can be with your programming, whether it's virtual or in person. So thinking about virtual programs, we want to make sure that your budget is kept in mind. Do you need to do all homegrown programs that really have a zero budget, or are you able to spend some coinage for each of your programs? So have your budget in mind. Know what resources that you have on campus. Who are you able to tap for different things to keep things exciting? Because you really have to do things that you've really never done before. Know your audience is one of the biggest things. Here at A&T, we have to know as a programming board what our students like and don't like. So we wouldn't want to put up a program, spend all of our time and our energy and our money in this program, knowing our students prefer this over what we've just created. So just know your audience and know your students. We have to create new marketing tactics. We can't do the same things. Before, we were able to just put up flyers around our student center or in residence halls, but more than half of our campus currently is at home and remote learning. So they're not going to see those flyers in the student center or in the residence halls. So we have to create new marketing tactics to make sure they are still getting their student experience via programming. We have to find those creative brain cells. We cannot do the same things that we've done in previous years. We have to spice it up and do it all virtual. We have to be open to co-sponsorships with other student organizations and departments. And something I had to make sure my students knew going into this Virtual programming is just as serious as in-person programming. Nothing should be laxed, nothing should be scaled down at all because we still have to give that same experience. It's just kind of even harder because it's all virtual. So I'm going to have 3 different slides up here. One to talk about less interaction, like student interaction is at a minimum. Then there's going to be medium interaction and then most interaction. So going into less interaction where student interaction can be at a minimum, but the event can still be great. So a virtual question and answer is a potential activity. You can have professors in the same department have like a opportunity for students to ask them different things. We've here on our campus, we've actually had like a record label have 2 of their executives come on screen, and those that are interested in going into that field were able to just ask different questions to those record label executives, and it went really well. Virtual concert, we all kind of know what that means, just having some artists on stage somewhere else, not on our campus, but everybody can view it virtually. A conversation between 2 comedians is going to be a great one because that means it's going to be laughs all around. 1 comedian is great, but when you have 2, and they're literally just doing a non-scripted conversation, it could be great. So that's you can do student comedians from your campus, or you can go to celebrity comedians. Makeup, hair tutorials. I love me a good makeup tutorial, putting on lashes or knowing how to do settings. So a good makeup or hair tutorial would be great for your students to be able to view if your audience is into that. Speaker series or a one-time event, if you wanted to have a speaker be on the Zoom or be on the Teams live or whatever it may be, whatever your campus chooses to do, the speaker could be on there and we could be getting great information and leave the event with more than we came in with. Day in the life Instagram takeover. My students actually just finished theirs on our Instagram. It was wonderful. Basically, every executive board member took a day and they were able to go on to our programming board's Instagram. So NCAT SUAB, they received a login and password for that. And they were able to showcase themselves to make sure that our students, of course, see us as humans and that they go to class, that they have different skincare routines, that they have friends, that they do this, that they go to the cafeteria, etc. But it was great to have them seen in a light of, oh yeah, they do these great programs, but they're also a student just like me. So that was a great advertising tool we used for us, but also we had a lot of hits on our Instagram. Just follows galore every day of people just wanting to see what our president uses for his skincare routine, or what our vice president does for her workout routine, or what our novelty chair is interested in when she's been watching Netflix. So it was actually pretty successful. So a day in the life Instagram takeover is great. Virtual poet magic show, election night watch party, as the election went on for a couple of days now. I'm recording this in November, so I hope by the time you're watching this, we know who our next president is. But also Netflix parties or game watch parties, Super Bowls, an important game that may be happening in your city, just a watch party. You can view it, you can stream it via Zoom and have people watch from the comfort of their own homes. A versus battle. So for instance, if you have people on your campus that are really popular around singing or rapping, you can actually have a battle between those individuals and people can watch from their own homes, and it'll be pretty interesting. And people can write in the comments their thoughts and kind of hype up one or the other. And then a cipher, tiny desk. Cipher kind of goes along with what I was saying with the versus battle. A cipher is more for the rap culture. And a tiny desk, we just recorded our tiny desk that we are extremely proud of. We pre-recorded individuals to be able to do their talent, whether it was spoken word, rapping, or singing. We've pre-recorded it all with lots of lights and glamour galore. And then we put it onto our YouTube channel. And right now we have over 2,000 hits. That is the biggest we've ever seen for a YouTube pre-recorded session. So that was a little bit, students really don't have to interact as much with these events, but they're still getting a great program out of you. Medium interaction. So students will have a small interaction or a small action that they must do for the event to be a success. So first one, business-minded like program. Here we did an Aggie Shark Tank. We modeled the show Shark Tank and had on our Instagram students to submit our their business plan for whatever business they wanted to create. We put their business plan or small video on our Instagram, and students were able to like and comment on the business plan. Whichever one had the most likes and comments received a branding package from our sponsor in the community here in Greensboro, and they were able to work and create that business from the bottom up. So that was a great business-minded program, but students had to like and comment for the winner to be chosen. Post a pet. Students will post their pet. Once again, likes and comments. You can do this on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Virtual escape room would be easy to do, but the students have to interact. Take and make activities, for instance. We just did a crank and paint. So our crank and paint is more of a, actually, no, let's talk about mask up. Our mask up competition. We packed masks, blank masks, masks to go over your nose and mouth for COVID-19, with some stickers and some jewels and some fabric markers, put them in a bag, and let students come at different times to pick up their mask up bag. And they were able to go home and decorate their mask however they wanted to decorate it. Then they had to tag us on their Instagram, and we would put them in our story. And once again, people had to vote on which mask they liked the best, and then the winning mask person would receive a prize. So that was very well done. We had a lot of people because we all have to wear masks. So decorate your own mask however you like. We had some very creative masks, and that was great. We will be doing that again in the spring. As we know, we will be continuing COVID-19 restrictions. Moving on to yoga workout class. We have another series here called Get Fit with SUAB, where one of our vice president, she actually leads a workout class. It's different styles of working out each time. The first time was just a regular workout. The next time was a mixed fit. The next time was a kickboxing class. We pre-recorded these and then put them onto our YouTube channel for people to exercise at the time that we released it or whenever they would like to. But they also had to tag Aggies Get Fit into their postings of them working out to receive our free workout materials and gear. We do cultural dance classes. We've also done open mic nights. Zen Den is what we called it here at A&T, but it was literally a virtual meditation and stress relief activity. You want to meditate. Of course, you need students to actually do it for the event to be successful, but it was something that they didn't have to leave their rooms for. We had someone on the Zoom. She was leading the meditation and then the stress relief activities, and it went well. We do it around midterms time or finals time. Read the Room discussion series. We had a few of these, and we did some of the topics included adjusting to your new college life. We did that back in August, where we just brought everybody on, did a little bit of a presentation, and then had an open discussion about adjusting to our new normal. And then the second one we just did was the election season, for people to hear about what the electoral college is, for people to hear about what they need to do, of why they need to be registered and why they need to vote, because not voting was not an option. So we wanted to make sure our students knew that, because Aggies vote. That's what we always say here. And then virtual scavenger hunts. That is easy to do. It's all virtual, but the students have to interact. They have to find those things in their homes or in their surrounding areas to participate in the scavenger hunt. And lastly, high interaction. So students must take action in the activity for it to be a success. Video game tournament. The students have to play those video games. Esports is another term for it. But the video game tournament goes well. You can have different games like Wii. You can have Wii console. You can do Xbox, PS4, whatever your campus draws more of. We actually could film it or host it in our game room in our student center, but make sure everybody stays at home in their comfort of their own home to play. If you don't have a rec center like that. Trap and paint, we've done our crank and paints. Everybody was able to come and get their crank and paint materials, their canvas, their paint brushes, their water, their cups, the paint trays, all of that. They were able to come and pick up their bag and then take it home. And then when we had our live crank and paint, where the DJ and the hosts were on the Zoom call, and everybody was able to just dance and have fun and laugh while creating a perfect image. Cooking, drawing class. We actually, for our Spirit Week, we just had Young MA host a virtual cooking class. She is a well-known rapper. She just, made some spaghetti, and spaghetti is such a basic meal, but it was so fun. It was just so fun for her to talk about the different ways she boils noodles, the different ways she cooks her meat, the different ways she creates her sauce. And it was a great interaction with the audience. Students were able to ask her all type of questions. Of course, it went away from the spaghetti, like nobody talked about the spaghetti anymore because they wanted to get to know her and her life as a superstar. But our students really gave that rave reviews, but they had to interact and partake for it to be a great virtual event. Speed dating and friending. We do an event here called Shoot Your Shot, where we just do it's around Valentine's Day. We want to make sure everybody's able to have a Valentine if they would like to. And we do some speed friending and dating virtually. If you're into TikTok challenges are always great. But as long as the people interact and actually do the challenges. Trivia nights, everybody loves some good trivia, especially when there's prizes. Speaking of prizes would be good to send virtually as well. A lot of the companies we've used in the past will just, send out Cash Apps or Venmos or PayPals from their company to the student. That's worked well. Amazon gift cards is the same. Or we've created baskets or prize packs here in the Office of Student Activities and had the student coordinate a time to come pick up their basket so that we were aware that they were coming in and everybody was socially distanced. But a caricature artist would be great, where we send in the photos of those that are wanting to get their sketch drawn. And then on camera, the character artist will draw out what they have received via the photo. Aux Cord Wars, we just finished that event. That was wonderful. A great time with different categories of music and the students actually going against one another with who has the best playlist or the best songs on their phone for the aux cord. A virtual murder mystery event would be extraordinary fun. And then I loved our virtual casino night. So basically everybody's in the room, they get the rules of the games, they kind of meet one another, talk with one another, and then they get to choose what breakout room they wanted to go to. Breakout room 1 had craps. Breakout room 2 had blackjack. Breakout room 3 had, there's more casino games, the slots, whatever it may be. But it was great. And the students are able to bounce to different rooms all while they have their play money that the company would give to them to win or lose. But it was a great time. And we all had fun doing a casino night, but from my couch. So that was great. So just 30 programs there in less than 30 minutes. I want you to go ahead and take a look at the workshop schedule because I have a Zoom room. So if you wanted to talk to me about any more virtual programming ideas that your campus does so I can add to my list, or want to talk to me about how did we execute one of these events, please click into my Zoom room as well as the YouTube chat to answer your questions and comments. And then my contact information is here as well. Once again, Kyonna Henry, Assistant Director of Student Activities, SUAB Advisor at North Carolina A&T State University. My email and phone are on there. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of the semester and virtual programming in the spring.
Thanks for tuning in to the Student Organization Summit. If you're watching this live, feel free to reference the schedule for the day and use the link in the schedule to access a Q&A room where you can ask questions or chat with the presenters from this workshop. If they didn't list a Q&A link, or you're watching this video after the event, thank you for your interest in the Student Organization Summit.